and welcome back to Logan's Voice. I'm Doug Ballinger, Logan's dad, and this podcast is about truth, healing, and hope. September is National Recovery Month, and today I want to talk about something we cannot ignore: our young people and the danger they face in today's world. This episode is about youth, recovery, and stigma because our kids are growing up in an environment where the drug supply is poison. Experimentation, even once, is no longer harmless curiosity. It's like playing Russian roulette with 5 bullets in the chamber. The risk is high. And when stigma enters the picture, it makes everything worse. Stigma keeps kids silent, it isolates them. It convinces them that if they admit they need help, they'll be judged, labeled, or cast aside. But here's the truth: recovery for youth is possible, and breaking stigma is the first step toward protecting them and giving them a chance at life. Let's start with the impact. Imagine being a teenager, struggling with stress, anxiety, or trauma. You experiment with a pill at a party or something a friend hands you, not realizing it's laced with fentanyl. That single choice could be deadly. Now you're worried, you're scared, you want to talk to someone, but you don't. Why? Because stigma whispers they'll think you're a failure. You'll disappoint your parents. Your friends will laugh. Teachers will write you off. So instead of reaching for help, many young people retreat into silence. They hide their struggle. And the longer they hide, the greater the risk. Labels like addict, trouble kid, or lost cause don't just hurt, they can become self fulfilling. A young person who hears those words enough starts to believe them. That's the destructive power of stigma. Families and school are the first lines of defense. As parents, we love our kids, but fear and frustration can make us respond with anger instead of compassion. We might yell, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" Or "Don't you know any better?" The intent may come from love, but the message lands as blame. And for a teenager already drowning in shame, that can push them further away. Schools often fall into this same trap. Too many times, the response to a student struggling with substance use is punishment, suspension, expulsion, exclusion. But discipline first approaches don't solve the problem. They isolate the student from the very support they need most. But here's the hope: there are schools and families finding a better way. There are recovery high schools that blend education with treatment and peer support. There are teachers who act as safe listeners. There are families who choose compassion over condemnation. And those examples prove something important. When love and understanding lead, recovery can follow. Safe spaces are critical. If we want to protect our youth from the poison drug supply, safe spaces can be a peer led group where teens talk openly without fear or judgment. A community center where sports, art, and mentorship provide belonging. A youth group where honesty is met with love instead of shame. Even just one adult, a parent, a teacher, a coach who says, "I'm here, I'll listen, and I will not judge you." Safe spaces give young people the freedom to ask for help. They transform "I can't tell anybody" into "I know someone cares." And here's the urgency. In a world where pills and powders are laced with fentanyl, asking for help isn't just important, it's life saving. I want to speak directly to young people right now. If you're listening, hear this. Experimentation today is not what it was 20 years ago. Back then, trying something once might not have been immediately fatal. But today, the drug supply is poison. Taking a pill, a line, or a hit is like spinning the chamber of a revolver with 5 bullets loaded. The odds are stacked against you. But here's the good news: you don't have to play that game. There are people who care, people who will help, and people who will believe in you. You're not broken. You are not your mistakes. And you are not your substance use. You are so much more. You're a student, a friend, an artist, an athlete, a dreamer. You're a whole person with a future worth fighting for. And to parents, teachers, and community members, speak life into our youth. Replace criticism with compassion. Celebrate progress, even the small steps. And most importantly, believe in them, even when they don't believe in themselves. Remember this: we must protect our youth from the poison drug supply. We can't afford to let stigma silence them. We can't afford to let shame push them into hiding. If you're a parent, ask yourself, does my child know they can come to me without fear? If not, start working on that today. If you're a teacher, a coach, a mentor, remember, your words have power. You might be the one safe adult who saves their lives. And if you're a young person listening, please hear me. Experimenting with drugs today is Russian roulette, and the odds are not in your favor. You are worth more than the risk. You are worth life, recovery, and hope. If this episode spoke to you, share it. Let's get the message to families, the schools, and the young people who need to hear it most. And don't forget to follow Logan's Voice, a podcast on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere you might listen. Until next time, I am Logan's Voice. I am Logan's dad, and I will not be silent.